This week on the show.
Paris by Tin Snail.
Where is the gear stick?
The gear stick is there. You know?
Seeing Seoul in a hurry. And the EU after Brexit.
Take your place. Get ready, go!
Oh, this is so tough. My back is about to break.
And there's gold in them there hills. We head to Slovakia to find our fortune.
Yes. Oh no. I've missed loads.
Our travels this week begin in a European capital very familiar to many of us, a city that's become a market leader in clichés.
I'm here in the city of love, but also the city of cars, and plenty of them.
One, though, in particular stands out more than any other in the hearts of the French people, the Citroën 2CV. And this year, she's turning 70. The 2CV was born in 1948 in the immediate aftermath of World War II. The very first prototypes, as well as the very last model and all the others in between, are kept here at the Citroën Heritage Centre in the north of Paris.
Oh, here they are. They've really got character. And this one, I mean, you can probably see from the bullet holes, must have been from the Bond film. For your eyes only.
With its unique shape, the 2CV, short for deux chevaux or two horses, quickly came to fame, and not only in movies. Within a few decades, the car became a common sight on France's roads and in its countryside.
The founding design principle of this car was 4 wheels under an umbrella. The idea of a light car, but with really good suspension, so you could drive over a field with 4 passengers and a basket of eggs on your lap. And by the end of your journey, none of the eggs would have broken.
More than 5 million were produced until the last one in 1990. But fans and owners still gather annually to celebrate a car that's been used by generations of French motorists.
I've caught the train out to a suburb on the outskirts of Paris because I've heard out here there's a place where people... I think I found it. Ah, bonjour! Hello, this must be the 2CV Club. I hope so. You must be Christian? Bonjour. Hello. Good to meet you. Look at all these beautiful cars.
Christian presides over a fan club of over 100 members. It's one of dozens across France.
Beautifully done.
They meet every weekend to repair and cherish their babies.
So why is this car so popular? Why do people love it so much?
It's in the French way of life. It's different to all cars. It's the way you drive it. You're not looking for speed. You're not looking for anything fantastic. And then at the club where we are here today, we all work on our cars and have fun and go out on a little bit of a rally or something like that, you know.
Allons-y.
Non mais toi la première.
Taking a 2CV on a rally is no easy matter.
This is your rally car.
Christian is currently preparing his for the club's rally trip to Oman next year. Their plan is to drive 3,000 kilometers through the desert.
Donc les voitures sont spécialement préparées. Donc on renforce des parties de la voiture, le châssis. Les contrôles se passent sur les boîtes de vitesse, le moteur aussi. On met une voiture en parfait état pour ne pas avoir de problème dans le désert. Mais on prend quand même la pelle. Il faut quand même une pelle au cas où.
Oman won't be the club's first rally. In years gone by, it's organised dozens around the world.
How many miles in this car, do you think?
Ouh, peut-être 50 000.
Wow, 50,000 kilometers. And what about this?
The water.
Is it? Oh, water
With
goes,
a
I bet.
little Ricard.
Yeah.
Collectors now pay up to 170,000 euros for the rarest, but there are still plenty around. It's thought about 100,000 still drive on French roads. They're also a fun addition to any weekend in the capital.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, Christelle.
Vincent, good to meet you.
Good to meet
This
you.
must be it.
It is it. This is it. Your turn to drive.
There we go.
Vincent takes guided tours around Paris.
I'm definitely going to need a lesson, Vincent.
He'll even let you drive if you ask nicely. And once you get the hang of it, it's really good fun.
Now, where is the gear stick?
The gear stick is there, you know.
Okay.
So you just turn that if you want to pass the first one and
That
pull.
way?
This
Pull.
is first. Okay,
Okay.
then back to neutral
There.
and push.
Push.
Second.
Second. This is very unusual.
Yeah, I know that. It's unique.
This might take. Please excuse me if we bunny hop up the street.
Driving a 2CV feels actually very different to any kind of modern car.
You can feel the engine under your foot, you know, and the noise of the car, and it's very physical, and it's not a car that goes very fast, but it's not the goal, you know.
It's a very kind of active experience.
Yeah.
There's no sitting back and letting the car do its work. You have to be involved.
Yeah, exactly. And on the left, this is the Louvre Museum.
Is there something, I mean, do you think this is part of French identity?
Yes, it is, of course. Yes, with the baguette and with the stripes.
Well, we've got two of the street, we'll have to stop for a baguette.
Yeah. You're very brave because driving a 2CV car is not easy. Driving in Paris is not easy. Driving for the first time a 2CV car in Paris is really, really brave from you.
Well, now you're making me nervous. Wrong gear.
There are no airbags, the windows aren't electric, and as for AC, let's just say it's pretty rudimentary. But for some reason, the French really seem to love the 2CV. As long as that remains the case, the car they call the Tin Snail will keep ploughing its own furrow on slow lanes everywhere.
And if you're thinking of heading here anytime soon, here are some of the things we think you should look out for in Paris this winter.
Like many European cities, Paris abounds with Christmas markets in December. The biggest is in the La Défense business district, where you'll find 300 stalls selling food, decorations and crafts. Keep an eye on the shop windows too. Some of the big department stores lay on some really stunning displays at this time of year. If you want something a bit different, the Museum of Fairground Arts opens its 12-day annual festival on the 26th of December. You'll be able to see live shows and have a go on old-fashioned merry-go-rounds and games. And Paris Fashion Week is in mid-January, but for most of us mortals, the winter sales are going to be the closest thing we get to being part of it. They kick off on the 10th and you can get pretty good discounts. You might need to get those sharp elbows out for some of the best deals though. The competition can be fierce.
Still to come on the travel show.
Our global guru's back with his pearls of wisdom. This week, seeing the US by train and Seoul in a hurry. And going for gold deep in the hills of Central Europe. This week I've been exploring the French capital. This is the 7th arrondissement, familiar to those of us who've been to the Eiffel Tower. But that's not my destination this time.
So there's a place I really wanted to show you in Paris. I've heard a lot about it and I've never had a chance to see it myself, so I'm going to go check it out. Bonjour! This way?
This is Derol, a taxidermist which for almost 190 years has specialised in very high-end stuffing.
This is insane. How did they even get this up the stairs? It's so odd to be able to see creatures like this so up close, and they're beautifully done. It's obviously taxidermy, but the artistry, even on such close inspection, is just, it's perfect.
These animals, all of which you can buy, came mainly from zoos, circuses and farms, and weren't hunted to order. In fact, the hope is that seeing how beautiful these creatures are up close will inspire people to care more about the natural world.
All these animals, of course, are well kept to be a testimony of what is the global beauty of the living. And all this place for the last 200 years is one of the steps towards human amazement, amazing sights for people to realize that observation is the key to preservation.
Hello from Malaga. This week I've advice on how to spend 24 hours in Seoul and the tricky business of taking medicines into Dubai. First though, in Florida, the new BRIGHTLINE high-speed rail link running between Miami and West Palm Beach has increased the frequency to once an hour. The train takes about half an hour between Miami and Fort Lauderdale and another 45 minutes to reach West Palm Beach. And the train operator has also launched a BRIGHTLINE Select ticket, which promises curated food and beverage items. Next, Jaguar from Canada's largest city, Toronto, is taking his family to Asia, and they've got a 24-hour stopover in the South Korean capital, Seoul.
What places should we be able to visit within that time?
Good question, Jaguar. And to answer it, I thought we should hear from someone who knows Seoul really well, Hallie Bradley, who writes a blog about the city.
Hi Simon, Hallie here in Seoul. There's a ton that you can see in 24 hours. Head downtown to GYEONGBOKGUNG Palace, the main palace of the Joseon dynasty here in Korea. From there you can check out the Bucheon Hanok Mall, a collection of traditional Korean homes, and then you can easily check out GWANGJANG Market, a traditional Asian market that has over 100 years of history here and serves up some delicious noodle soups and dumplings as well for lunch. From there, walk along the Cheonggi-cheon stream and check out the DONGDAEMUN Design Plaza, a great modern addition to the architecture here in Seoul, and end at NAMSAN Tower, where you can watch as the sun sets and the twinkling lights turn on. I hope you have a great trip!
Next, Gemma from Leamington in the English Midlands wants to book a holiday in the European Union after the UK has left on the 29th of March 2019. She says she can't find the answer to her question online.
Will ATOL and ABTA protection still cover a post-Brexit holiday?
The consumer protection offered by ATOL, the air travel organisers licence, and ABTA, the Travel Association, remains in effect whatever the UK's geopolitical status. But much more significantly for most travellers from Britain, the package travel regulations enshrined in UK law require companies selling transport and accommodation in a single transaction to deliver the holiday as booked or provide appropriate assistance or recompense. In uncertain times, booking a package holiday is a wise plan. If for whatever reason the trip doesn't go ahead, you should get a full refund. Our final question is from Savita Singhal, who's travelling to the UAE with her parents, who are both in their 80s.
I'm not quite sure what medication can or can't be taken into Dubai. Can you help, please?
The rules for taking medication into the United Arab Emirates haven't changed. To bring in medicines on the controlled list, which includes some drugs such as codeine, which are available over the counter in other countries, you need to apply in advance for permission. The Registration and Drug Control Department of the UAE Ministry of Health has a new website where you can apply for permission. For prescription medicines that aren't on the control list, you can bring up to 3 months' supply as a visitor if you have the original prescription or a letter from your doctor. That's it for now, but please carry on bringing me your travel problems and I'll do my best to bring you the answers. See you soon.
Last year, Slovakia in Central Europe welcomed a record number of visitors, attracted chiefly by the breathtaking landscapes and excellent skiing. The mountains there are stunning at any time of year, but they also hide a shiny secret. We sent Kate Hardy-Buckley to the resort of Hodrusa Hamre to find out more.
Competitors, take your place, get ready, go!
Welcome to the 2018 Gold Panning Championships, a highly competitive gathering where emotions are running high. More than 500 competitors from 30 countries are here hoping to strike gold.
You can take your material.
So, how does it all work? Organizers fill a bucket with sand and hide tiny specks of gold in it, flown all the way from California. Now that I'm up so close to the gold flakes, I realize how difficult it must be because they're tiny. Yes. And some of these sand pieces are just as small. It sounds like an impossible project.
No, it's not impossible.
Then, competitors race to find all the flakes. Each bucket will contain the same number. For every one you miss, 5 minutes is added to your time.
Would you like to hop into Trough 12?
Eager to try it myself, I've signed up for a lesson with British world champion Daisy Firkettle.
So the first thing you're going to need to do is pour that right into the center of the pan and make like a bit of a mountain. And then you're going to do big flat circles. Okay. Yes, right under the water like that. Perfect. What's really going to help you with this is the specific gravity of gold. It's about 6 times heavier than everything else in your pan. So that means the gold really wants to hit the bottom of that pan and stay there like a rock. A bit more power than that. Give it some welly. Good. That looks like championship panning.
I really hope there's some gold in here.
So shuffle and flatten and get everything in like a semicircle like that.
I think I can see some gold sparkles.
Yes? It absolutely shines like a beacon, doesn't it?
Oh, I'm delighted.
On your first go. Brilliant.
Fairly happy
right,
with that.
Cap on. You don't want to lose those babies.
Thanks so much, Daisy.
No problem.
Just beyond the championship site, there's plenty of evidence we're in a traditional mining town. It's hard to believe, but I've been told there's an estimated 70,000 euros worth of gold hidden within these piles of rocks here. It just shows how important gold is to the area. It's very beautiful. Richard Canna is a local gold mine owner as well as a panning enthusiast. Richard, how extensive are all the mines here?
Stovky kilometrov dlhých banských diel, množstvo odvalov hlušiny, východov banských diel na povrch.
But life was hard underground. Up until recently, the average miner lived to 40 years of age. Very cold, Richard.
Yes.
It was often said women would marry 3 husbands in one lifetime.
Podmienky práce v bani boli vždy ťažké. Baníci mali zapráčené prúca, mali zničené celé telá a dožívali sa nízkeho veku.
Over at the championship site, the race is back on. It's the women's final and the place is heaving with excitement. And some of these women are so fast, they found their specs within under a minute. With all the flakes counted, I met the new world champion. How do you feel right now?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. It's been a long week. Yeah, it's a tough competition, so it's good.
But just when I thought it was all over,
22, Kate from BBC, 23, Ferodobrovsky.
So I've been roped in to competing, and I'm absolutely terrified.
Take your place. Get ready, go!
Looks like I've got a fan club. Thank you for the encouragement. Oh, this is so tough. My back is about to break, but the adrenaline is keeping me going. Oh God, okay, got some gold. I would have thought gold panning was a rather relaxed, chilled sport. This is anything but. Okay, I think I'm done. Thank you. So I haven't done too bad for my first go. I found 18 flakes. Unfortunately, there's a beautiful sparkly one just here that I've missed, but I didn't finish last, so maybe a bit of beginner's luck.
Yes.
Oh no! I've missed loads. I later found out I actually came second last. So I think I've got what they call gold fever, and I'm off to find a stream to see if I can pan for some out here. What's wonderful about gold panning is you can have all the excitement and the rivalry and the noise, the competition. And then you can come out here, and it's just you, the river, and hopefully a few flakes of gold.
Well, sadly, that's all we have time for on this week's show. But coming up next week...
We're in Tokyo, a confusing enough place if you're able-bodied. But how well will it look after the disabled sports fans likely to arrive in big numbers for the Olympics and Paralympics of 2020?
Don't forget, we're also all over social media, so you can follow any of our feeds by clicking through from bbc.com/travel show. Until next time, from me, Crystal Loward, and the rest of the Travel Show team here in Paris, it's goodbye.